Hello everybody and welcome to the Daily Review, episode number 269 for Wednesday, December 23rd, 2009. And the film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is Crazy Heart. Crazy Heart is written and directed by Scott Cooper, and it stars Jeff Bridges, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Robert Duvall, and a very interesting performance from Colin Farrell. Crazy Heart is the story of a kind of washed up country singer named Bad Blake. He's kind of a guy that paved the way for a lot of people, and he's considered kind of an old-timer and a classic sort of an act. Since then, though, he's kind of washed up. He's a drunk, he's an alcoholic, he's been playing shows in bowling alleys and stuff like that. He doesn't really have a lot to live for, and he meets this journalist named Maggie Gyllenhaal who does a story about him. And he kind of falls for this girl, and what ensues is kind of a character study on Bad Blake. I guess kind of think The Wrestler, but instead of wrestling and Mickey Rourke, think country music and Jeff Bridges. Crazy Heart is a pretty powerful film for me. I think it succeeds on almost all of the levels that it's trying to succeed on. I think Jeff Bridges gives quite possibly this year's best performance, which I want to get into in a second. And it also contains a very heartfelt and emotional story for me that doesn't ever feel cliched or over the top or anything like that. I think the big strength for that would probably go to the writing and the acting especially. There are a lot of times in this film where people could really see it as being just another cliched, run-of-the-mill type of indie film that's trying to pull at your heartstrings and to get at you, but it never feels cliched to me at all. There's a lot of scenes involving, you know, Bad Blake has a son who he hasn't spoken to, and he can't even remember when the last time he spoke to his son was. There's a scene involving a car accident that could feel very forced. There's the love story between him and Maggie Gyllenhaal could also feel very inauthentic and not genuine, but it works. And I think the big strength of the film is Jeff Bridges, and his performance is so subtle and nuanced that I feel like it's not even like I'm watching Jeff Bridges play somebody. It's like that guy is Bad Blake. And I think the thing about his performance in the film, unlike Tobey Maguire in Brothers and Monique in Precious, is that it's not a performance that's, you know, consisting of him yelling really loudly or crying profusely in front of the camera so people could watch that and be like, that's good acting. All of his scenes and all of the emotions that he stirs out of you and all of the pain that you see within this character is done in such a subtle and nuanced way that it's just like permeating through his skin. Like you could just see the little tiny facial ticks and tweaks that he does are just so well done for me. The other big strength I think about Crazy Heart is that if somebody were to ask me what is the one genre of music that I dislike the most, it would probably be country. I don't think there is a single country song on my iPod or anything like that, and I remember that was a fear for me going into this film, is that there's a lot of scenes involving country music and him performing country music, and I'm thinking I'm not going to like this, but I loved it. I loved every second of it, and I think that's really attributed to the directing and writing of this film. Just like with Hustle and Flow, or even with a film like Once, I think people can watch a film like Hustle and Flow and not like rap music, but still appreciate the story, because the story's not about rap music, it's about the character and his struggles and that sort of thing, and that's exactly what Crazy Heart does. It's about Bad Blake and the things that he does. Also, I just wanted to say about Crazy Heart is that it has a song that's being considered for best song. And I think just like with The Wrestler, with Bruce Springsteen's song The Wrestler, it's a song that to me is so deserving and so well done, because when I hear it now, it stirs up emotions inside me that the film caused me to have, which I think truly says something about the artistry at work there. The only minor complaints I may have about Crazy Heart is that I think it goes on for a little too long, and at times it feels a little too much like I'm watching The Wrestler, but The Wrestler that's not done as fantastically as The Wrestler was for me. But I still love the film. Jeff Bridges' performance is one of the best, if not the best performance of the year from an actor. I give Crazy Heart a 4.5 out of 5. It's one I highly recommend people check out once it plays in their area, or even if you wanted to drive somewhere to go check it out. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with another one for you.